Stream health is good.
Perfect.
YouTube tells you.
Yeah. Don't show these tips again.
Uh-oh. I think we
Might have gone live.
may have just gone live.
Are we live?
Yep.
Hello.
Yeah, we
If
did.
we're live, we're live. We're doing it. Is that because I did something?
No.
Welcome
It
to the
wasn't
makeup live stream. We're gonna make up with each other.
Why did you start 5 minutes earlier than you said you were?
Sorry,
Oh,
Rhett.
okay.
I just couldn't help it. I thought maybe I could get a little alone time with the peeps. No, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but thanks for being here. Of course, we're doing this live stream through YouTube this time, so we'll see. Hopefully, this will work better. And I believe that it is. We've got a chatter here. We got the chat box open, and you're gonna have to. You wanna put
Hey,
it there?
Jan from Denmark.
All right, so we're gonna hang out with you guys for a half hour or so, and just try to field any questions that you have, or any comments, or just respond in general. Can we make this thing bigger? I wonder.
You can pop out the chat.
Pop it out. I'm gonna pop out chat. I just popped out the chat, guys.
Pop it out.
Put that right there, and put this over here.
Okay.
Where were you? Why
I was
were you not?
I was urinating, and I also thought I had 5 more minutes. I come in here, you're like, hey, we're live.
You did. You still have
Whose fault is it?
You still have 4 more minutes.
So this is like the pregame. This is pregame. Doesn't really count.
Hello, Emma, Samantha, Kimberly, Brennan, Craig, Jade Webb, not Jade, my dog, who's around here. Mallory, Jessica, Be Brave Productions. I love all your productions.
I do see that we
I
got
haven't seen any of them,
we
but
got a
I'm sure they're
playback
great.
error on our, but I don't know if you're seeing that because Nay Naster is saying it's working so much better.
Hello from America. Who cares in Germany? Mega, thank you for thanking us for doing a makeup. This is actually going to be a makeup tutorial. We're gonna teach you step by step on how to do a live stream that makes up for doing one before, which was so popular that it didn't work well. There was lots of crashing.
Micro Nate,
Step 1
How-
is you start 5 minutes early.
how many times do you have to redo a part of an episode? Well, just because we have to redo live streams every once in a while doesn't necessarily mean we have to redo parts of an episode. Very rarely. It has happened though. It actually happened recently. You missed a spot. You missed a bunch of spot shaving.
I know I'm using that electric
It's
shaver,
like
and it doesn't work.
I haven't
right?
looked at your face today.
Like-
I just looked at
Like
your face.
tell me about it, because
Ah,
I don't
here.
think it's gonna work. I don't think
Here,
it's
this is-
sustainable.
really, this is bad. This is bad. This right here.
There's just hairs that are just missed.
Oh, completely missed.
They're just hanging out.
Let me see the left cheek. Huh. Well, you did good. Whatever you did here, you need to do there.
I did this second, so I think it knew that it needed to outdo this side.
I think it's
And
just.
the light was coming from this side.
I
so
think it's.
I was.
I think it's a matter of time. I think that the razor probably works.
Danielle is saying electric shavers are bad, but I'm gonna tell you, I dropped some coin on an electric razor. And if this thing doesn't work, well, I'm gonna return it. I mean, I'm not gonna pay hundreds of dollars for a shaver and not work.
Yeah, I think it can work.
I also think that my skin will get used to it, and something will change physically about my face as a long-term response to using an electric shaver.
Well, you probably don't get the same exfoliation.
You get more.
I think you might need to make up for the lack of exfoliation with an exfoliating wash.
I think I already used that.
I'm using an exfoliator that it's a powder. It's like a grit. It's like putting sand in your hand and rubbing sand on your face.
I do that sometimes. Joseph says, "Just grow it out, Link." I don't want a beard. I'm close to beards all the time, and I'm kind of over it. And I wouldn't want to be any closer to a beard than I already am constantly.
I honestly would not have a beard if I didn't have to, because
You don't enjoy it as a I don't know.
No, it's
an accoutrement.
No, it gets you try to eat some soup. It gets in there. It's not a choice that I would make. If I had a face that could work without a beard, I wouldn't have a beard.
I'm gonna turn this a little bit.
Although they do say that there is some, because of the sun protection of beards, you do lower your chances of facial skin cancer.
But your chances of beard cancer go way up.
Way up.
Hello from Canada. Amy says, CEK asks, what would you guys tell your pre-California selves if you could? What do something? What do you think would happen if you did?
Whoa, we were missing a lot of that, chat.
Would it create a dangerous paradox? Oh, you just made the text smaller by doing that.
No, I didn't make the text smaller. I made the text peel back on itself faster.
The text got smaller.
Really?
I'm just going to show you that. Watch when you do that. See how the text got the same size?
Man, you must have hit something else with that shaver today, because it didn't get smaller. What would we tell our pre-California self?
Look at this. Anja and Kimberly, back-to-back comments. One is in Virginia, United States, and one is in Germany.
Oh, speaking of that, NC State's playing Virginia right now. I'm pretty sure they're losing. Let me just check.
Okay, so
oh wow,
we're live streaming to you, but then Red is getting a live stream of basketball.
No,
which
listen,
could be seen as rude, but hey, he's going to let you.
We were up by 2 points at halftime on the #1 seed. Look at what's happening now.
We're losing by.
That's
23 points.
It's quite a deficit to overcome.
I want to honor you the question that I read with an
spoiler
some
alert.
sort of an answer. I asked a question we didn't answer, which was what we tell our pre-California selves.
I have a few answers, most of them food related. A, do not.
I went the wrong direction with this, by the way.
California Pizza Kitchen. You should not try it in California because it will be a disappointment. I would have gone to Palm Springs earlier. Waited too long to do that.
Hey boys, go to Palm Springs earlier. I like Palm Springs. It's nice.
What else?
Don't move to Encino.
Oh, wow.
I lived in Encino. I didn't really like it. Sorry. If you live in Encino, I'm sure it was my fault. But that's what I would tell myself, so I'm just being real with you guys. Sophie asked, do you enjoy having the Smosh guys around?
I can't stand them.
Yeah, it's great.
It's already become unbearable.
It's cool to walk around and see, oh look, there's a whole other division of things happening.
I just saw Noah in the bathroom.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you talk to him?
We both peed. But you know, the way our bathroom works is there's not urinals next to each other. There's a urinal.
Thanks to me.
And there's just one urinal though, and then there's 2 commodes. And I was at the urinal already, still staring at the Willie Nelson picture that stares right back at you.
From point blank range.
And he was in the commode, and then we washed our hands together. And he said, "Oh, hey!" I said, "Hey, man.
Welcome.
Good to see you. Haven't really talked to you."
Did you yell at him like that?
He said, "Man, I love it here. They always open the door for me."
Because it's locked.
He forgets the code.
Brennan Cook asked, do you guys watch the AAF?
That's the sequel to Alf.
I don't know what that is, Brennan. I'll have to look that up, and I hope you're not trapping me by saying something inappropriate on a chat. Alexandra, what a great interaction. Kimberly, do you ever stay in contact with your friend Greg? Not as much as we'd like. Jade's upset about it too. Hey Jade, come here.
Jade has probably seen a balloon.
Come here, Jade. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Victoria D wants to know if I'm going to be bringing my piano to the rest of the live concerts. Yeah, it's keyboard, but it will be there. I play it just like a piano, though, even though it's a keyboard.
I like
There's no difference.
You think Jade is a mustache.
You get a lot of comments about manhandling your dog. So
I'm gonna handle my dog any way I want. She is freaking happy.
You are a man.
She is the happiest freaking dog ever. She is babied.
But
I don't want any criticism on how I interact with my dog.
I'm just saying. I just watched it back, and it did look a little intense. See, there
like
it
this,
is.
it's just like.
Yep, that was.
She loves me so much.
I just think you could be a little. You just be a little gentle, a little more gentle.
I'll take constructive criticism from you, but I'm not gonna take just like.
Well, what about what kind of?
And I know you weren't saying that.
Laura,
Ray's just saying.
Laura says, "What kind of shampoo do you use for Jade?"
You don't tell a parent how to parent their child. I think that's why you like working up my ire.
Well, you do.
Oh, I do. Yeah. I said you. Other people don't. Like I know how to parent. Like I tell any parent what to do.
What kind of shampoo do you use on the dog?
On the dog, oatmeal flavored. All right, go play.
Brennan has clarified that the AFF is the Alliance of American Football.
It would be nice to make the text bigger since we're old guys who can't read. We're gonna find something to complain about, guys. I'm sorry.
What is the Alliance of American Football? This is a football league?
I don't know.
Do you want me to make the text
I don't-
bigger?
I
I
don't-
think the answer's
I don't need.
that would be great.
I personally don't need more football.
Is it in this ... up here?
No, click command,
Command and plus.
command, plus.
Oh, you're talking about just like on the keyboard logo.
Yeah.
Oh, that is. Oh, that's
There you
working.
go.
That's working. It's working.
You've done it, Jen.
Make it
Thank
bigger.
you. Thank you. That's 150. We're going
Now I don't have to squint.
We're gonna have to retire. Oh yeah.
Gabriel, what is your wedding band? Wedding band is a ring that I wear to signify that I'm married.
What is it? Is it? What's it made out of?
It is made of pure aluminum. It's
Aluminium.
I actually made it. I created it from my recycling bin. All the recycling that my parents did before I got married added up to this. Added up to
Wow.
this one ring. No, I think it is white gold because in the year 2000, was it 2001? When did I get married? Should know this. I think it was 2001. White gold was in. White gold was what you wanted. Now I'm going to get a rubber one.
Amy wants to know what's on the agenda for today. Well, we've been in a bunch of meetings. Well, we've been in one really long meeting. We had a big Brian and Stevie meeting. Very important. We'd probably still be in it if it wasn't for this. Thank goodness. We had to, business can get the best of you. We only leave. Sometimes we'll have like 4-hour meetings. We only leave the room to pee.
And I'm 100% serious. Every time I have to pee in a meeting, I think Stadium Pal.
Because you don't want to leave the meeting.
That thing you just pee right into the bag. I'm just like, man, it'd be so much more. My wife's calling me. Should I answer it?
It's up to you, man. Gabriel said, I almost got white gold, but went with tungsten. My wedding band is just gold. This was my grandfather's wedding band. My grandma gave it to me when he passed away, and I wore it from the get-go in my marriage. Bert Bacon wants you to put her on speakerphone.
I didn't.
I would not do that. Or you could do
I
that.
just wasn't. I wasn't in the mood. I don't know if she might. Sometimes a conversation can start immediately.
Danny, thanks for your comment.
It might be like, oh, there's this problem that we need to address right now, and then the next thing you know, I'm thinking about a problem that I gotta address.
You can't use a phone call as just grounds for.
She gave me the thumbs up.
That you can speakerphone it?
No, I told her I'm gonna call her back. I said I'm doing a live stream.
Meredith,
didn't you know?
Could I get a birthday wish? Yes. Here it is.
Journey button.
Theodora asks,
what are your
"Audio's really
favorite
soft,
chemical elements and why?"
Turn your volume up.
What are your favorite chemical elements and why? Well, white gold. I've already said that. The symbol for that is WAU.
I don't have a favorite element, but right now my favorite rock is a fairy stone. I went to a gift shop last night in Burbank, and
What is that?
there's a gift shop that is
No, what's a fairy stone?
never open. I'm telling you, man.
I know what a gift shop.
Do you know what that weird odds and ends gift shop is in downtown Burbank? That's never open, and if you're walking to the parking deck, it's like always closed, and it's like full of what's like seemingly crap. Well, Christian and I were walking
No.
around down there last night, and it looks like old toy memorabilia and stuff like that.
Not the record place.
No, this is like on Orange, right when you're going to the parking deck,
Okay.
beside the Mexican restaurant. And it was open at night, and when we walked in, a guy comes up, and I had a bandana on, and he was the owner, and he was like, "Hello, welcome to Odds and Ends. I'm going to speak without breathing or stopping or pausing for the next 10 minutes straight,
Oh,
and
that's
I'd like
cool.
to direct your attention it's like, you may have noticed that my shop is always closed during the day because I am an archaeologist."
Oh!
He said he was an archaeologist and that he was like doing all this stuff, and he only opens his shop at night. And he said, "May I direct your attention? There's lots of cool things in the store. Some people think cool things are pricey, but I'd like to direct your attention to these stones. Pick one up, pick one up, pick one up." So then I picked one up, and he said, "That's a fairy stone in your hand." And and then he started talking about he ranked the places on Earth where people believe in fairies the most.
Did you respond to any of this or just
He
listen?
didn't give me room to respond. I like shook my head in multiple directions. Didn't change his speech at all. But it's the dripping of water. He called it waterfalls, it accumulates this sediment, which then goes into the form of like these like pillared looking little plops of. It kind of looked like frozen, like petrified dog diarrhea,
Oh, good.
which he would sell for like $30 to $50, because it would come. He said it came from Finland.
Well, okay.
You would have bought some, definitely.
Speaking of make believe,
Definitely.
You didn't buy any?
You know me, man.
Hold on, but how much was it?
$30 to $40 to $50,
Oh, wow.
depending on the piece.
I like. There's a lab-grown bismuth. You've seen some of the interesting stones that I have at my house because I am into wood, but I'm also into stones. And I think the lab-grown bismuth it's these crazy patterns that looks like someone had to have engineered this, but it just happened naturally in the way the crystals formed, and these weird geometric patterns. And then there's another thing, which I can't remember the name of, but it is an almost perfect, you've seen this, almost perfect mirrored cube.
Yeah.
That's just in rock. And it looks like, oh, well, somebody made a mirrored cube and carved it and then set it into stone. But no, it occurred like that naturally in some cave in Spain or something. It might actually be better than wood. But don't tell wood I said that.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Waffles Walnut, how do you choose the guests for your show? That's an interesting question. One that we are constantly asking ourselves. I mean, after every few months, we re-ask that question, like, who should we be having on the show, and what's the criteria? So it kind of moves, but we definitely. I mean, there's certain irresistible people and then there's some that like, oh, I feel like they would have a lot of fun on the show, and usually it's people who need to be promoting something, so you have the opportunity to invite them on or not. But going after people just for who aren't having a current appetite to be guests on the show, that's just not how it works. So you filter from a pool of people who are promoting stuff.
Well, and I will say that.
And then we try to factor in YouTubers because that's important to us.
Well, speaking of YouTubers, like I will say that there are probably YouTubers who you're like, why haven't you had so and so on the show? And the honest answer is, well, we probably asked them multiple times and they have said no. That's just That's why. And then there are some people, like I see somebody asking about Casey Neistat.
Don't know the gamer.
Well, I answered this question in the in my AMA yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Casey's a friend, and he was almost on the show before, but schedule didn't work out. So that will happen at some point. He didn't say no. He's very busy. So anyway, we're always trying to make it happen.
Layla wants to know what's y'all's favorite pie. Happy Pie Day, by the way. Did you clean out your blow dryer this morning?
I don't use a blow dryer. Yeah, and then I let my wife do whatever she wants to do with her blow dryer. I don't dictate how often she cleans the filter.
That's good. I don't think that you should have anything to do with her blow dryer.
My favorite pie is Earl Grey tea pie available at the Pie Hole in downtown Los Angeles, and there's one in Pasadena. I had it at my 40th birthday party. I really love it.
I like peanut butter pie.
I want some right now.
I also like pumpkin pie. I don't know what it is about pumpkin pie, but I like it. I like it. I love it.
You ever had sweet potato pie?
I think I like that too, yeah. I don't love sweet potatoes. I don't like sweet potato fries. Hydro Flask, not a sponsor. Oh, yeah, actually it is a sponsor. No, it's not. I'll move it out if that's bothering you.
Katie says, does Cotton Candy Randy eat cotton candy? No, that would be cannibalism.
Ryan wants to know, can you talk about how great Felicia Day is to quell the haters? Well, I mean, since we're just talking to you society members, I don't feel like any of you are haters. But if you're requesting that I do that publicly, we'll gladly do that. Felicia's a friend of ours. She was a great sport, and I didn't know that she was getting any hate. I saw she was getting lots of love from being on the show, but that's disquieting. I'll look into that. To be decided, what's the most interesting thing you've seen this week? I saw a fairy stone with a belly button. Like it looked like Buddha's belly, and I was tempted to buy it. It was $50 though, and it was like this big. But he said that's the spot. He said that's called the so-and-so. It's basically this. I can't remember what it's called. That's why I said so-and-so. But it's the spot where over a long period of time the drip remained very. What's the word when something doesn't change? Consistent. It was a consistent location of a drip, which made what looked to be like an any belly button. What's the most interesting thing you've seen this week, Rhett?
I haven't seen a lot of interesting things this week. That's one thing I'm noting. But maybe the most interesting thing is there was some sap that dropped onto my car, and it was. And I'm not talking about the FJ. I'm talking about the sedan. Because I parked it under the. Jenna is currently taking the FJ, which I don't really drive. I drive it if we're going to go overlanding, but that hasn't happened recently. And we cut all these limbs off of a pine tree, and then I parked under it, and I didn't realize that it was literally like a faucet of pine sap pouring down onto the car. And then
all over it or in one spot?
All of the hood and the windshield and the top. And so she's taking it to get clean because I'm going to like cover it. I usually keep it parked and covered, and so it'll age well. And they're like having to get the sap out. And they're like, well, the parts that have really hardened, we might lose a little bit of your top coat. So then I make the mistake. I thought, well, all the sap's come out of this tree. I park under with the thing I just got back from the body shop. My sedan goes under the pine tree, and there's one little drop. And I was like, oh, there's a really big stationary drop of water on it. That's literally what I thought. I was like, oh, look at how that water has formed like a perfect bubble on my. And then I started driving. I was like, that water's not moving. I was like, it's sap. So I took my finger, it was fresh sap, took it off, and I had sap on my finger, and I was like, what do I do with this? And I wiped it on my tire.
Did you think about licking it?
No. I wiped it on my tire, and then I got black stuff. It's still there on my fingertips, and I had to wash those off. Don't park under a pine tree.
All this happened this morning?
Yeah, I mean, I basically I was doing that right up until the moment I was peeing with Noah. It was a 4-hour process.
Damn. It's a bad morning. You weren't even reading the wish.com comments yet.
Yeah.
FC Schultz, did the copies of the book Boy's Life make it to you both? Probably. I don't know yet. We'll look for it.
If you send it got here, it takes us a while to get through everything.
When are you going to release the Bleak Creek cover, Nico asks.
Yeah, well, as I was saying in my AMA yesterday, we're giving notes on the cover right now. I don't know when we're going to release it.
We're waiting for a second pass, but rest assured we'll make as big of a deal as we can about the cover once it comes out. But I don't know, maybe a couple of months. I don't know.
Right. Unless we decide to go with Plan B, which is just a photocopied copy of one of our rear ends, which is something that's been discussed.
It was prototyped.
And people, and the whole. Here's the thing: as being a society member, that you get the inside scoop, is we were going to do it in such a way as you couldn't tell you were looking at a butt crack on a copy machine, and it would be like months into the release of the book that you'd be like, "Oh crap, that's a butt crack."
Alex Bailey wants to know, can you bring Noah into the live stream? No.
He's probably urinating.
He's working. He's working on stuff. Jan, Buddy System Season 3 with a story about rabbit lightning? Question mark. Thanks for the pitch. No Buddy System Season 3. Not happening. But we are funneling our scripted efforts into other concepts. And rest assured, like the buddy comedy vibe is still something we're very much focused on. So we gonna scratch.
Keep
that
an eye
itch.
out. Justin wants to know what our favorite word is. Mine's moist.
Mine is probably the.
Mm.
It's so it propifies all types of stuff. Like you put the before anything, it's like it makes it better. The link. Oh yeah, that's me, or someone else. If you and then you can say the. You can say the. You can say it two different ways, at least. There's probably a third way that I'm missing. I'm forgetting. I mean, I'm so nervous on this live stream. I don't know how many ways you can say the anymore.
Right. Right.
The. It's more in the back of the throat.
You can say duh.
That's the third way. Duh.
I have a Swiss friend who says duh for everything. Speaking
CJ.
of butts, you're going for that one too. Speaking of butts, how are your tattoos holding up? Question from CJ. I don't know. Have you looked at yours recently?
I haven't.
How often do you look at yourself naked in the mirror?
Last night I did some dancing in the mirror. I was naked, but I was facing the mirror.
Right. That's the thing. I'm usually facing the mirror. I mean, always doing it, but I kind of forget that I've got a tattoo. In fact, sometimes if people are like, "Do you have a tattoo?" In my mind, the first answer is, "No, I don't have a tattoo," because I don't have like a real tattoo that's like I try to make a statement about who I am. I was like, no, I got my wife's name tattooed on my butt to be funny in a video. Oh yeah, I have that as well. I remember.
That's not like a proper tattoo.
Right.
It doesn't feel like. Would you ever get another tattoo? Sarah Knox wants to know. I thought I would say yes, but now I'm probably not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Josh, depending on if we reach our goal, Josh might have to get a tattoo.
That we design.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
I probably won't, but mostly because I feel like if you're gonna get a tattoo, you need a lot of tattoos.
Ice Killer 158, good idea. Ginger Hughes, how's Josh's tattoo design going? We haven't started it.
Right.
But
But Plan B is that we just go with a photocopied picture of our butt crack and put it right above his butt crack.
Libby wants to know if we'll say hi to her friend Catherine. She's not here right
Yeah,
now.
right. I mean, what good would that do?
Hello, Catherine.
Scaracat, favorite board game. I don't know if it's a board game, but I really like Codenames.
I really like Codenames.
Codenames is and you love that game.
I do like
you
it.
love
I
it.
was just trying to.
You love it. And they
Um,
got Codenames Pictures, which is like Codenames, but it's pictures.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Code Pictures?
It's called Codenames Pictures is the name of it. You haven't played the Codename Pictures part?
No.
Jen, you play Codenames?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good game. It's a good game.
Mix up the pictures and the words next time you play.
Oh,
That
no,
makes
you
it
can't do.
hard.
Oh,
You've done
no.
that?
Oh, gosh, Jen.
Mixed up the pictures. Do they suggest that, or is this you trying to?
Oh, my cousins are wild.
Oh, your
Your
cousins are
cousins-
breaking all the rules. What? Can't do that in America.
Alexandra agrees. So does To Be Decided. Daniel is excited. Just bought a Daniel shirt. How long should I expect? Lost it.
Well, boy, the suspense, man.
How long should I expect?
It's a last? I mean, I don't know. It depends on how often you wash it and how hard your agitation is inside your washer machine.
Rain wants to know, what's your first car? My first car was a 1987 non-extended cab Nissan pickup, two-wheel drive, straight drive, or stick drive, or manual, if you want to call it that.
Whoa.
No AC, tape deck. That's it. That's what I got.
Mine was a 1981 Oldsmobile Omega. It was
81?
1981 Oldsmobile Omega that Bob Jenkins sold to my dad for $500, and it was two-toned brown, and it looked like a Caprice Classic had like been shrunk. So like very boxy. You remember, very boxy, like a kind of a sweet-looking car. My brother.
Sweet-looking car.
No, I purposely. My brother did wreck it one time, but then I purposely sacrificed the car and told my dad about it later because I ended up hating it so much because its
But
top
you
speed was
didn't-
53 miles per hour.
You didn't crash it into anything. You just ran it. You just like floored it.
So no matter how much gas you gave the Omega, like you could literally get the RPMs into the red line, but it would go 53 miles per hour no matter what you did. And you know, as a high schooler, I wanted to go fast. So coming home from Harnett Central High School one day, coming from Angier to Bowie's Creek, I floored it the entire way home. And so I'm going down the road, it's just going like redlining the whole time, still going 53. And then I get all the way to my street and I'm still flooring it, and then it just eventually the engine just overheats and I just kind of roll to a stop right in front of my house. And then I go inside, I'm like, Dad, something's wrong with the car. It's like, okay, we'll have it looked at. And then he's like, yeah, the engine overheated, blew and really damaged it, and it's not worth fixing. I was like, ah, crap. Guess we'll have to get something else. I know it sounds like a real spoiled thing to do, but I drove it for a while. And then he gave me his hand-me-down Dodge Dynasty, which wasn't that much better.
MSK Puff. Do you guys have any interest
It sounds like a cereal.
in doing cool outside vlogs where we can go somewhere cool with you guys? Love you guys.
You have any interest in that?
Sounds scary to go out. I'm not really interested in it. I'm not opposed to it, but I don't know. There's Instagram story stuff. When we're on the road, like with our concert dates, that's when we're doing something out and about. We go into Instagram story mode. So that's gonna have to scratch your itch. Second time I've said that in this live stream. All right, we've got one more minute, then we're going to close this thing down. We're going to try to go through some textual bombardment just really quick.
Fishboy asked, would anything change Rhett's mind about cats? Well, that's a great question that will be answered on an upcoming episode of LTAT.
Erica, what made us decide to go with YouTube for this stream? We're still figuring out ultimately where we're going to be doing the live streams, but we are concerned about keeping it something that is a closed environment for you guys as part of your Mythical Society tierage. Right?
Larissa says, saw that Britain will join you. Nice. Has that been did he announce that himself? Is
He
that
put
how
it
she
on
found
his
out?
Instagram, yeah.
Probably, yeah. He was very excited.
Yeah, so in our upcoming leg of the tour, Britton Buchanan, Link's cousin, is going to be playing some songs, opening it up for us. We're very excited about that.
This is our first announcement of that. You've heard it first from us here on this live stream. Veronica said, this worked very well. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for your help in making this work really well. Can we make a society handshake?
Anybody can make it. If you're in the society, make a handshake, and you've done it.
All right, guys, so we're going to sign off now. Thank you for hanging with us and for keeping things positive and for being your mythical best. As always, Semper Curiosus.
And now, swallow this.